Welcome everyone to Throwback Gaming's Our Life Beginnings and Always Let's Play Part 6. Last time we took on the long day episode, which had to start off spending time with Shiloh by ourselves, which was nice. We went searching through the house for coins so that we could buy us an ice cream. And then we went out to the store and got one. And afterwards, we ran into Cove and Lizzie, and it looked like they were fighting. But before we jumped to conclusions, we asked them what was going on. And they explained to us that Cove got yelled at by this grumpy old neighbor that no one likes. So we went over there to try and confront him, but once again he was being a jerk. So we all left and played, and we had a good time. And it turned out to be a very good, long day. So that's nice. And this time we're going to do sandcastles. So that should be fun. I don't remember this one being in the demo, but it might have been. It's been a little bit. But I look forward to it anyway, so let's jump in, shall we? Oh, that's pretty. Cove wasn't able to do many things that summer. When you, him, and Shiloh sat out on the shoreline one bright morning, you could tell he wanted to be in the water. Yeah, I don't think this was in the demo. But there was no way he'd be swimming anytime soon, not with his cast. That's right, that's unfortunate. And we still don't know why his arm got broke. Wonder if it was an accident, or what if his mom had something to do with it. I don't know. We'll just see. The waves washed a single shell to shore, glittering and blue. Another reminder of the places he couldn't go. That must suck. From what you could hear about Cove's old life so far, in tiny pieces and fragments, you could tell he'd do anything to be able to get the cast off. Yeah, he's his dad's son after all. He's all about the water. Maybe like a pact with a witch or something to get it off his arm. Oh, it's funny. But that would make matters worse in the long run. He thought about how his summer last year must have been totally different from this, with his old house and his mom and dad. But now he was here, with you and Shiloh and Lizzie and everyone else, and he couldn't even go in the sea. That must be so taunting. It's like right in your face, and it's like, ha ha, you can't touch me. This town wasn't bad. It had all your favorite things in it. But sitting there, on the same beach you'd grown up with, you can understand that not everyone else felt the same way about Sunset Bird as you did. Well, that's because it's your hometown. Most people consider the place they were born to be a special place, unless you grew up rough and you didn't have a very good childhood. Because, you know, your situation, if you were poor, or if your parents fought all the time, or something like that. But we have a pretty good life. Both of our parents are together. We live in a nice town. It's quiet, but you live right by the beach. Got a little playground nearby. It's pretty nice. There's him with his little hat on. I wish they showed his hat off last time, because I was rewatching it. And they were talking about how Shiloh's hat fell off, and you never see him without his hat. So I kind of wish they showed what he looked like with his hat off. But maybe we'll see that when he's older. You watched him from the corner of your eye quietly, and he finally said aloud what you've been pondering. I wish I could go in. The water? No, the sky. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna be able to do it soon. Cove only sighed in response. Apparently soon wasn't soon enough, especially when you're a little kid. You want to do it now. You don't want to have to wait. It's so pretty, the ocean. I love him. He's so cute. And huge. There could be anything out there, like mermaids. Yeah. I wish you didn't have your cast. I don't really care. That's kind of rude. Something might be fun if we could. I'm fine here on land, or mermaids aren't real. Okay, obviously, we're not picking this one. We're not picking this one. Which one sounds the best? I feel like this one would just tease him some more. And we're not really talking about his cast though. We're talking about mermaids. I wish there was one about mermaids where it's not mermaids aren't real. I don't really like any of these options, honestly. I guess we'll say the cast. Me too. I bet. Obviously, not interested in hearing much more about your input on the situation. Cove turned back to the water. I'm sorry, but as he looked away, something about Shiloh's slow, careful movements caught his eye. I wonder what Shiloh's up to. He's usually not like that. Hey, are you building a sandcastle? Sorta. I was only playing around while you were talking. I'm listening. He's adorable. He's like, I wasn't not doing. I wasn't. No. It's like I was paying attention. Just because I was doing something else doesn't mean I wasn't paying attention. He's all about being the pleaser. Maybe I could too. I've only made big piles before. It's really nothing special. I'm sure you'll be good at it right away. There's Shiloh being the cheerleader again. Well, how do you do it then? Shiloh's cheeks looked up. You could tell he was a little bit uncomfortable to have Cove expectant stare at him. Yeah, he's not usually the one in charge. He's usually the one following. I'll play too. I love making sand stuff. I've never really made one before, or there's nothing else to do. Obviously this one seems the most uplifting one, so we'll go with this one. Although it's interesting because earlier in one of the earlier moments, it's when Cove goes to get a sand pail, so I wonder if this takes place before that one takes place. Okay. Excuse me. He puts his hands back to his seashells and sand. Wait a minute. He put his hands back to his seashells and sand and nodded. I don't like how that sentence is worded. It sounds confusing. I don't do a lot. Here's how I like to get the house started. Shiloh focused more intently than you ever seen him. Guided Cove through the process. You happily used your own method. It didn't take long for the three of you to each have humble structures prepared. That's all, kind of. You can do anything now, like make it bigger, add some more seashells, carve a pretty pattern. I bet you have great ideas. That's Shiloh for you. I'm gonna make it bigger. Mine's gonna be a real castle. Cool, this is gonna be a house. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to make a house, a sandcastle, or a mansion. Well, let's just do mansion since we all have we'll all have different ones. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to design a mansion. The better part of the next hour was spent focusing on your own work. The boys were the same. Even Shiloh didn't sneak as many peeks at everyone else as he usually did. Huh. Shiloh's actually really focused on this. This is interesting. You finished shaping before either of them did, glancing up from what you built. It seems like you got done fast because they already searched around for extra decorations. Shiloh had grabbed most of the really interesting stuff, and Cove had a lot of seashells. But there were still options. The first thing you reached for was a red bottle cap, a blue seashell, or a green piece of sea glass. Sea glass. What is that? I don't know. Let's use the seashell. It was the best fit for your mansion, you decided. The color blue... Oh, the blue color of it still reminded you of clear water. So you put it in a funny place, or take a second to see it. Pleased with your result, you finally took a proper look around. 1 minute. Pleased with your result, you finally took a proper look around that wasn't focused on the sand itself. I don't like that sentence either. Both Cove and Shiloh seemed super immersed still. You knew you could probably sneak a peek at either one's work. You checked out Cove's sandcastle, you checked out Shiloh's sand house, or you decided not to look. Do we do a sneak peek or do we decide to wait? Let's not look, because we might look at one of them and think ours looks bad now. Let's wait till everyone's done. You instead watched some clouds go by. The silence was broken then. What's on top of your Shiloh? You peek closer and discovered something shiny sticking out of Shiloh's sand chimney. Oh, it's just a gum wrapper. It looks like smoke. Hey, that's really smart. I like that. That's good. That's smart. Yeah, I didn't think of that, or I guess I don't see it. Ugh, rude. You should be an architect. Or kind of looks like a worm. Let's go with this one. You'd be good at it, Shiloh. Shiloh smiled without a word. I don't think he's used to getting compliments. And that was it for the current topic. Jamie, can I see what you did? Sure. He scooted just a bit nearer and began surveying your work. All you really knew about mansions was that they were supposed to be big, so you got really big. It was the size of the country club that Lizzie played. Hey, I said it was a country club. I said that. That was funny. I was like, yeah, it looks like a country club. I was right. That's funny. Compared to Shiloh and Cove's buildings, probably even bigger. Shiloh quickly decided to jump into the new conversation. Hey, Jamie, what'd you do? This is my mansion. It looks great. Your house is so big. It's not a big house. It's a mansion. Well, that is what a mansion is. It's kind of a big house. So, no. I guess mansions are just really big houses. Or things. Or you just look at him. We'll just say things. You're welcome. He's so adorable. I don't think that's the same as a house. Wow. Huh? Is being a house bad? No, but we each made our own place. Nobody's is the same. I think we are. Cove raised an eyebrow at that. If something is the only thing... Wait a minute. If something is the only one of that thing, that makes it special. True, but I mean, you could still have parts that are connected. Kind of like how all of ours are made out of sand, you know? Yeah, for sandcastles and stuff. People too. My dad always says how everybody is their own man, a real individual. I don't think I'm very special. Aw, yes you are, Shiloh. Why not? No one else is you. Shiloh simply shook his head. I'm not different. Yes, you are. You are your own person. Based on the color of your hair, the color of your eyes, the color of your skin, how you act, what you like, what you dislike. You know, all that stuff. A beat passed between the two of them. Cove then looked down at his own work again. Okay. He didn't seem to be bothered leaving the disagreement hanging there. Cove had other things on his mind. My dad tried to get me to make sandcastles the first time he came to this beach. Maybe that's why he left the pail behind so he wouldn't have to do it again. I didn't want to. Cove trailed off again. There was another moment of silence. Shiloh shifted and opened his mouth to say something, but Cove spoke up before he could. He didn't think he noticed that Shiloh was going to talk. Aw, poor Shiloh. Hey, do you know what happened when your moms met my dad, Jamie? You waited to see if Shiloh would say what he wanted to. When he didn't, you considered Cove's question. I wasn't there. They didn't tell me. I just remember what happened when I met your dad. Mr. Holland had been a weird stranger then. Well, he was still kind of strange. No other parent acted like him, but you knew him better at this point. Now that you thought about it, it made a lot of sense that Cove's dad talked to him about people being unique, since he is himself. You were pulled from your thoughts when Cove continued. Oh, well, I was there. I don't think my mom met your dad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Jamie's parents and my dad met the same day I met him. I was going to say what happened. Shiloh frowned to himself, ducking his head. His hat cast a shadow over his face. You could still tell he was upset about not being included in Cove's choice of topic. Yeah, don't be rude, Cove. I mean, yeah, you're telling a story, but I mean, he's trying to say that, his mom hasn't met your dad yet, And that's true. That was kind of boring for him. Though giving people their own turn to say things was important too. Yes, it is. You stayed silent and let Cove finish his story, or I think Shiloh wants to talk too. Let's speak up for Shiloh. He's too quiet. He's too shy to say something himself. Huh? We were talking, just not right now. I'm talking to you. He can listen. Shiloh's expression barely flickered at the words. He still looked put off. Cove continued like the interruption hadn't happened. He was determined to tell the tale. When we moved here, we didn't bring a lot of stuff with us. Only some of our stuff would fit my dad's car. We didn't even get a moving truck. I sat in there while Dad brought all the stuff inside. I didn't want to get out because I knew Dad would make me look around the new house. I really didn't want to do that. His lip twisted up in a frown as he recalled that. Then I saw your moms. They were in a car too and stopped at your house. I guess they were coming back from somewhere or something. My dad noticed. He waved his hand, then went over to the front of your house where he started talking to them. I don't know what they said. I couldn't hear it. But he couldn't see me anymore since he was looking the other way. So I opened up the car door and left. I wanted to get away and went behind the houses. I found those heels there. The ones from when we met for the first time. Okay, this is explaining what happened beforehand, how we ended up at the hill. That's interesting. Cove nodded, then stared at you. You stared back. He didn't go on to say any more. Aren't you going to finish your story? Cove's brow wrinkled, like he didn't understand you were surprised. That's all that happened. Okay, I feel that. Why did you want to tell the story if nothing happened? You really got to get better at telling stories. Or that was a pretty bad story, or thanks for telling me. We'll just say okay. What is it? What? You said that in a weird way. I don't think I did. Cove narrowed his eyes at you, suspicious. Shiloh's mouth twisted into a scowl of disbelief but said nothing. Why'd you bring that up anyways? There was a slight shrug of Cove's shoulders. I was thinking about it because of the sandcastle. It made me remember when I moved here. Dad showed me the beach first before we went to the car to unpack. He was really excited about it for some reason. Cove's brow furrowed in a little more as he quietly raked his hands through the sand. I get it. You thought maybe Mr. Holden wasn't that excited about the beach and was instead hoping Cove might be. That sounds like, Mr. Holden. But the line of conversation had come to an end. Even Cove was done with it. Some other topic had popped up into his head. Shiloh fidgeted uncomfortably in the sand. Fidgeting uncomfortably in the sand made Cove aware of his presence again. They looked at each other, and he could only wonder what this might be about. Hey, Shiloh. Yeah. Aw, he's smiling again. Why are you always turning so red? Even when nothing is happening. Clearly startled, he jerked back. Neither you or Shiloh had expected that to be how he got included in the conversation again. You're just being so rude right now, Cove. It's not good. I don't know, I guess. He gets embarrassed really easy. I wonder if he has a crush on Cove. Or maybe, I don't know. He does get embarrassed a lot. Maybe he just, gets him, I don't know. Okay, it's kind of weird. That's so rude. Shiloh's eyes were wide with embarrassment and his lips twitched, and he was blushing even harder than before. Well, this is because you embarrassed him. Maybe it wasn't only his. Perhaps it was simply the last straw, but it was a big deal to Shiloh. A huge deal. He didn't look just sad. He looked almost panicked. Yeah, because he's thinking he's going to get thrown out of the circle. You weren't sure if he was about to cry or run away or what, but you soon got an answer. Why do you wear glasses? Most kids don't wear glasses, and nobody is named Cove. Oh, Shiloh's getting feisty. But, you know, Shiloh don't ever say anything, so Cove totally deserves it. Who asked you to come? It was probably just your dad bucking Jimmy's family for some more, because you don't have anywhere else to play with you. Oh, Shiloh's letting it go now. Cove is like, what? Shiloh's never ever said anything like this. Cove blinked. He's like, is this really happening right now? The tension on the beach was suddenly uncomfortable in a way you didn't know how to laugh it off. It didn't seem like the kind of thing he'd get upset about. Though you never known what kind of thing would bother Shiloh, because he never says anything. I'm sorry. Me too, I was just wondering. Hey, let's build another sandcastle. Or you try to play on your own. I don't think that's the right answer right now. Are we going to build some more? Or are you nervously messed in the sand? Let's just build another sandcastle. Let's try to change the topic. The day's going to be over soon. Jamie, you're right. The sun's going down so fast. You all went back to make more sand buildings, but the whole mood had changed. Shiloh's cheeriness was clearly gone, and Cove looked as confused as ever about why the other had blown up. The air stayed uncomfortable the rest of the afternoon, right up to the moment that Shiloh's mom appeared on the beach to take him home. At least she tried to do something to resolve it, though, and it seemed like it helped. Even though Shiloh's smile, when he said goodbye to Cove wavered, it still stayed as bright as ever for you. That had to count for something. But with Shiloh gone and the sun going down, you knew it was time for you and Cove to head to your own houses. The two of you trailed out of the park together towards the neighborhood. The walk home was quiet. You passed by familiar landmarks, shoes thumping against the sidewalk in near perfect unison. Cove was clearly caught up in thinking about something. You asked Cove what he was thinking, or you stayed silent. Let's ask him. Something was definitely up, so you chose to reach out to him and ask. Hey Cove, is everything okay? You're making a funny face. Oh, I was just wondering. Cove fell silent again for a few more seconds, then sighed. Why did Shiloh act like that? When I said he was all red a lot, probably because he got embarrassed? You were picking on him. You were being rude to him. Yeah. He was just being a baby. No. You shouldn't make fun of him. True. I don't know, it's just Shiloh. Wrong. Or he gets embarrassed, which he does. Or you shrug a Cove with no answer to give. Okay. Being rude, should make fun of him, are the two top answers. We'll be nice. We'll say you shouldn't make fun of him, because being... I wasn't. You were. You're being rude. It sounded like you were to me. I didn't mean to. I guess I can get it. Why would he do that? Sometimes I get really mad too. Despite seemingly coming to a conclusion, Cove's mood was still sour. Hey Jamie, was Shiloh telling the truth? Huh? Oh, I think he got his feelings hurt because Shiloh said that the only reason why he's friends with us is because he doesn't have anybody else to hang out with. His gaze left yours as he dug the sole of his shoe into the ground. He looked oddly vulnerable for a second. Okay, let's be honest. When is Cove not vulnerable? Does my dad make you hang out with me? I know he talks to your moms about that a lot. And, oh, maybe he knows about him trying to buy his friendship for us, but we didn't take the money. An uncomfortable weight settled in your chest at the question. You like spending time with Cove. You didn't even think hard about it. You knew you did. But you couldn't help feel guilty. Cove still didn't know what happened when you met Mr. Holden. Nobody's making you spend time with me, or your dad does do stuff so that I'll hang out with him. Your dad does do stuff so you'll hang out with my family, but Shiloh shouldn't have said that. Or you decided to tell him about how his dad offered you money. Okay, I feel like the second one's bad because it's like, I think it'll still make him feel bad. I think this one will make him so bad, even though we kind of need to tell him this at some point. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the first one. Cove's shoulders relaxed. You haven't even noticed that he tensed up. Yeah, I think that was the good answer. Because, I mean, we need to tell him about the money at some point, but I think maybe when he's older and he's more grown up, you know? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyway, I didn't think you were pretending. I just wanted to make sure it was okay, is all. Thanks for telling me. Glad we made him feel better. Your throat tightened. It was hard to meet Cove's earnest gaze again. Keeping secrets was hard. I mean, yeah, but I don't think we're at the point where we should tell him. I think we should tell him when he's older, when he's more mature, and he won't take it as bad, you know? Because, I mean, his dad meant well, but, I mean, you don't do that, you know? You're welcome. By now, the two of you were on the sidewalk near your house as it was time to part ways. You said goodbye, you hugged Cove goodbye, or you nudged his shoulder. Let's give him a hug. Although that'll probably make him embarrassed. You stepped forward and wrapped your arms around him tightly. You turned your head, resting your cheek on his shoulder. Aw. Cove stood there awkward with his hands at his sides. He wasn't much of a hugger, but you didn't get the impression he wasn't unhappy that you were. He's just embarrassed. That's cute. Bye, Cove. See you tomorrow. Yeah, bye, Jamie. You pulled away, then jogged towards your house. When you look back, you saw Cove making his way back home too. As if he felt your eyes on him, he turned around and waved. You did too. You still felt a little unsure about what you were supposed to do about the deal with Cove's dad had offered. You didn't want to say something bad or something you shouldn't. Exactly. You had no idea how Cove would take it either. It would be terrible if it made him feel bad. What if he didn't want to play with you anymore? You might change your mind sometime. There was always tomorrow after all. But for now, it was definitely something you'd keep to yourself. Exactly. That's what I was just saying. With the final look, you went inside your sandcastle. Inside your house. And that's it for Sandcastle. Very interesting. We had some very tense moments, some very emotional moments. But hopefully everything turned out in the end. And next time we will take on Fireflies. Wonder what that's about, huh? But yeah, after Fireflies, we'll jump into the DLC. We'll do library, you know, ghost, barbecue, run away, and then sleep over. And then we'll see what happens when summer ends. But until next time, peace out, everyone.